Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is the year-end special on technology. Well, the year 2022 has been a sobering one for the technology ecosystem in general. The crypto crash wiped out more than $2 trillion in wealth, though some might really argue that it was a mirage in the first place at all. Now, venture capital-backed companies also absorbed about $2.9 billion in the third quarter of 2022. That's down 66% sequentially and 81% on a year-on-year basis. And this slowdown actually shows no sign of easing. Also, we have been seeing the ongoing big tech downsizing with tens of thousands of job losses as well. But in terms of the new innovations, we did see scores of new smartphones, AI, augmented reality, virtual reality products really coming into the fore. Now, with 2023 just upon us, this is an opportune moment to really reflect upon this tumultuous year, learn some lessons and also see what to expect going forward from here. With me on the show, I have Danny D Cruze from Business Today, my colleague, and also joining us on this edition is Mr. Navkinder Singh, Associate Vice President, Client Devices from IDC. Welcome to both of you and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Danny, to start off with you first, how would you really summarize the year gone by for the tech system as a whole?
Thank you, Sakshi. Yeah, for starters, I would say it was really a pleasure that we got to get out and moving for events, and we got to experience devices in our hands during the launch, which was not happening since the past few years.
True.
The tech sector was buzzing with launches throughout the year. It started with Samsung with the Galaxy series. We got the Galaxy S22 Ultra, which was an amazing device. The cameras are beautiful, and then we there was other major launches from even some small companies which were quite impressive, something like an iQ, which got us some amazing gaming centric phones. And then we saw a great movement in the space of chipsets. We saw Qualcomm launching its Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset, which is a completely new series for its flagships. And we also saw MediaTek launching the Dimensity 9000 series, which was a game changer for them. And coming to iPhones, yeah, this time we finally got rid of that ugly notch on top, and now that has been traded for a pill, and it's a pleasant sight to see, honestly.
All right,
And
but which according to you were the biggest tech innovations and the breakthroughs of 2022?
For me, I still feel that foldable devices are not out there, but smartphone makers are now taking it much more seriously, and more devices are being made in the foldable segment, and that's where the manufacturers have some headroom to expand, and this will have a very big impact on the users and the way we use smartphones, which is like an integral part of our lives now.
Sure, sure. Let me also get Mr. Singh, the external expert, right here with us. Navkinder Singh is with us now. Navkinder, your take of the way tech space really evolved in 2022 and what were the biggest highlights of the year for you? And also in the same breath, you could also mention any of the disappointments, if at all.
Well, the tech space in 2022 has been refreshing to say the least after two tumultuous years of 2020 and 21, where we were struggling with the COVID, the demand and the supply, from all ends, the value chain was challenged. A few notable mentions which have been highlights of 2022 can be the foldable space, and at least in the smartphone and even the laptop space has been very refreshing. Samsung has led the space till now, but now we are seeing that the players like Xiaomi and Oppo are also doing well. And even with Samsung's new launches, we've seen that they're more durable, more ergonomic. The usability is more the front screen and and the inner screen, and the battery life has improved markedly. So I think that space has really done well. Wearable category as a whole has really found its growth path. It really literally exploded with about 500% kind of growth for some of the subcategories within the category. That has really done well. We're still a long way to go in terms of how many people use wearable, but both from the audio wearable, which is the hearable space, and the wrist wearable, both the smartwatches and the bands and the basic smartwatches and the advanced smartwatches, there has been a lot of growth, and Indian brands have really done well there. And a third, one of the most important pieces is that the past 2 years, the semiconductor supply chain has been severely challenged from supply point of view. 2022, they finally found their footing. The capacities were expanded, and now we've reached a stage actually that semiconductor supply chain there's a surplus in some parts. The automotive to all the devices, consumer connected devices, they are really there is a surplus and the capacities are okay now. So I think these are the three major highlights. The disappointments, the list is more than the highlights actually. One of the, I'll not say disappointments, but I think it's slightly early in the curve. The metaverse, lot has been spoken about it. There's been a lot of ink has been spilled about it that these many use cases, but metaverse has disappointed till now compared to the narrative. But I'll still put it in my list of 2023 and 24 and beyond. The tech retrenchment was a disappointment, and uh, several factors there, global headwinds and so on and so forth. Crypto crashes has been one of the major ones, and finally, I think some sanity is prevailing in the crypto market. Hopefully, and that will carry on till 2023 as well. And my personal pet peeve in the connected devices space has been the battery life. I think with the advance of the use cases and the different kind of uses we are getting from our devices, the battery technology, purely from a material point of view, has not kept pace with it. So I think that's been for so many years. Hopefully, there is some solution around it. So these are the few disappointments from my side.
Now, Navkinder, in terms of the products which emerged as your top favorites or the top disruptors, if you could mention?
So one of my most favorite products for 2022 has been the Fold lineup by Samsung. I've used it since they were launched, and Fold has really replaced most of my use cases of the laptops. Obviously, not the data analysis and other part, but for most of them. And I've used that phone actually connected to my monitor. I use it full blown laptop or my Windows my full office screen as well. It's really helped me there. The ergonomics, the battery, and the durability, they've really improved over Fold 3 as well. The inner screen is much more usable now. The cameras are much more usable now, and it's a really usable foldable product now. Actually mainstream, and I'm looking forward to some of the prices being dropped by possibly Samsung by extending the lineup and some of the other vendors. Another favorite thing has been the entire Apple Silicon lineup, which they have done. And I'm, talking from both from a consumer and enterprise point of view. We from IDC, we do a lot of enterprise research. We've seen that the CTOs and CIOs, the buyers in the organizations now are seriously considering, and with a lot of success cases now, Apple Silicon as a viable alternative to the Intel-based and Windows-based laptops which they used to buy for the enterprise earlier. So that means the silicon is able to the Apple Silicon is able to run almost all the inner portals and the apps which enterprises use. I think that's a major success story. And even on the consumer side, the battery life and things work very smoothly. I think that's a very refreshing thing which you've seen, and it's actually disrupted the space there, both in the premium laptop market in the consumer and even in the enterprise space.
All right, Danny. So, what about your top favorites of 2022?
I will definitely go back to foldable devices. That's what excites us. And since the other generic smartphones have gotten a bit stale now, that's what is exciting in the tech sector. And I am really looking forward to what's coming next year.
Okay. Now, Danny, tell me more on, say, AI. What did you really think of ChatGPT? Is it really something which could supersede Google in the coming times?
Chat GPT is something. Yeah. So and the experience with ChatGPT was really awe-inspiring and scary at the same time. But it only goes on to show the kind of impact it will have on our lives, and it has already started. This year has seen some major breakthroughs in the form of ChatGPT, DALI, Lenza. These are some AIs that have they are not only trendy topics, but they are going to have a significant impact on our lives. In my personal experience, Chat GPT is just an easy and accessible tool which has now been made accessible to the general public. And going forward, this is going to really expand uh, its applications in our daily lives. So I
Okay.
really think this is a game changer.
Okay. Navkinder, what is your own personal take on ChatGPT?
Yeah, ChatGPT has been one of the highlights, one of the stories of the past few weeks. I've not personally used it too much, frankly, but whatever use cases I've thrown at it, it's been scarily accurate and actually very smart. Uh, we have heard rave reviews about it. I'm sure there'll be more use cases which will be discovered for this. But I think it's important to step back and take notice and note down the perils of such technology, like misinformation and fraud. And one of the most important ones, how do you handle the teaching and the classroom learning when these kind of things are available at your disposal. But having said that, obviously every new technology has the pros and the cons. I'm sure use cases will be made out of that. But I think this is a major step in the AI-generated content, and another huge leap in the personal and authentic AI. And it's going to be very exciting 2023. What kind of more such use cases start coming in?
You know, Navkinder, but the elephant in the room is the big layoffs that we've been looking at, headlines screaming about it, the funding crunch in startups, the slowdown, recession concerns as well. How grave is the situation currently? And what is the likely impact of all of this put together on the Indian tech ecosystem going forward into the new year?
The tech layoff and the hiring crunch is real now. From the metrics which we are seeing, the enterprise buying is slowing down, the consumer buying is slowing down across categories. So obviously those are ripple effects there, and there are effects of global headwinds. So this has been the real this is a real concern as we enter 2023 as well. A few factors which contributed to this, edtech has been one of the major contributors of these layoffs in the past few months. Uh, we're also facing global headwinds of some of the major technology companies as consumer buying and enterprise buying slows down globally. Obviously, their branch offices and the regional office, they also decide to cut some of the workforce. Uh, Also, we believe in the past 2 years, 2020 and 21, as we entered the COVID era, there has been excessive ramp up, and rightfully so in many cases. There's been excessive ramp up, because demand was coming in through, let's say, online and other channels, and there was an expensive ramp up, and a lot of hiring was done. That's being as demand slows down now, as people spend on other things more than the technology, travel and other stuff. That demand slows down, then obviously there is huge capacity of the workforce that's being laid off now. And I also believe firmly that especially in the case of India, there is always an irrational exuberance about so-called demographic dividend of India. In 2022, we are still about 45-50% smartphone penetration, about 1.32 billion people. We have less than 700 million or 70 crore smartphone users in India. The organic growth from feature phone to smartphone, which are the smartphone is the bedrock of all the spends and all those apps and OTT and all the things which are happening. Smartphones, feature phone to smartphone is migration has slowed down or almost absolutely halted. We are replacing our phones more often, and that also is slowing down. We've seen the smartphone market will actually degrow this year. I think there are various concerns. This will go on till 2023 as well. Yes, there are concerns around this area.
Okay, and lastly, looking forward, how does 2023 really look for you? And what are you really excited about? Starting with Danny, you first, in fact.
I am really excited about AI. I just started using ChatGPT, and it has been like talking to a person. Honestly, the kind of emotional bandwidth it shows, the kind of logical reasoning it shows, it's something else. And Recently, OpenAI, the same company that made ChatGPT, also shared a new AI that can make 3D models, which is also going to blow up, I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
And AR and VR headsets, because Apple is going to launch its first AR and VR headset. That will be a big push for the segment, and I think that's Apple is going to change that segment completely.
Okay, excited about that. Navkinder, anything that you are interested about from the smartphone or the wearables lineup that you're looking at in 2023?
So as we look towards 2023, a few things which really interest me and I'm looking forward to them is one is a 5G. 5G came a little late for us as India. Lot many people are using 5G devices, but they are not losing 5G as a network. But I think more than the consumer story, I think how the services and other things like telemedicine, telehealth, education, these will be delivered, and the fundamental building block of these will be 5G. That's going to be big because as we come out of the peak COVID, so to say, some of our behavior of how we use technology has been changed. So 5G, I'm looking forward to those kind of use cases beyond the high speeds and latency for as consumers. I'm I'm not say bullish. I'm looking forward optimistically to the new use cases around metaverse. I think 5G will also be one of parts there. So AR, VR, and everything will play parts there. But I think metaverse, some of the sectors or some of the subsegments within the metaverse will come to the fore, and we will see success there as well. I'm still bullish on the foldables. I think, and more than the technology, I think technology obviously will take time to be perfect like a bar phone. But I think we are almost there with what Samsung is doing and what the other brands are showcasing these days. But I'm looking forward to the prices being dropped below the super premium space to the I'll not say more affordable, but around 50 to 70,000 kind of range, which is actually premium for India. So I'm looking forward to that, more kind of launches by some of the China-based brands in India. Another thing which is important, I think, from a technology point of view is the biometrics and really the recognition tech. So things like Digi Yatra. And I think more such use cases in health and other will come to the fore in the latter half of 2023. And we spoke about how 5G will be important for telehealth. I think that's going to be one of the most important things, how we consume technology when we do consulting with a doctor, with a physician. I think that's going to be very important because we are used to of that now with a remote monitoring of some of the metrics. I think 5G and telehealth will be one of the major use cases.
All right, so on that note, we'll wind up this show. Many thanks, Danny and Navkinder, to both of you for sharing all these insights, wrapping up the entire 2022 for us, and also sharing with us what to expect going forward. Looks like a promising year ahead for the tech space in 2023, and we will continue to get you all the latest from this space as we step into the new year. And here's wishing all of our viewers a fabulous new year as well.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.